If you clicked on this video, it's because you've been dealing with your ego way too much. You've been having this inner conflict of not being able to find a release from the constant overthinking. It's time for you to just finally let go of the ego and kind of go through an ego death. And this is going to be the first time that I do something like this. I was guided that maybe we can do this ego death kind of inquiry, meditative kind of experience. So I'm just going to go with my intuition on it, see where it takes us. But let's go ahead like we normally do when I do start guided meditations. We're going to take a couple deep breaths in to kind of center our energy. That way we can all kind of tune into the same energy field. So any messages that come through, any understandings of the ego that needs to be expressed right now will come through. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. One more time in and out. So just sit here for a minute, kind of, if you're having a lot of thoughts, just kind of let them, slowly dissipate. But the first thing I want to mention is that none of the thoughts that are consuming you matter. They don't matter. They do not matter. None of this matters. Your perception of yourself is completely different than someone else's perception of you. You'll never understand someone else's perception of you. You may sort of understand, but you'll never quite understand, because we are given different perceptions. Our mind works way different in that aspect from one person to the next. And another thing is that you are not the only one that is consumed with thoughts from time to time. And that's why it never matters what someone else thinks of you, what someone else feels about you. It only matters what you think and feel about you. And when you have conflicts of your emotions, your confidence, and you typically don't struggle with that regularly, or if you do, if this is a new spiritual experience for you, if you're just now on this path, this is something that's going to break free with practice. But part of the spiritual journey, sometimes we all have to come back to this battle with your ego. And it just takes a lot of practice. Observing our thoughts, reminding ourselves that we are in control. Because for many years before you're on the journey, before you make this realization that your whole life you've been battling your thoughts and just switching, changing your perception to those thoughts changes how you perceive those thoughts and ultimately removes that battle. But it didn't happen overnight for you to be consumed with thoughts. So it just takes continued coming back to this space where you tell yourself you're done analyzing, you're done comparing yourself to others, judging others. One of the realizations is realizing that all of those thoughts, those judgmental thoughts about what other people are doing possibly in their life or what they're thinking about, it's all the reflection of what is going on within you. This is part of the human experience, as to have this learning process of detaching from our ego. Our ego is defined by our society. Nothing that the ego wants matters. You're stripping yourself away from that ego, the ego that has beliefs and judgments and ideas that perceptions that are just never the truth. So you're changing your perception through this process by allowing yourself to not care about it, to realize it doesn't matter. We are energy, and if we were out in outer space right now, if our body was thrown into outer space right now, the thoughts, the worries, the concerns of the ego don't matter. None of these physical things that we desire matter eternally. When you detach from your ego, you can ultimately connect to everything, because you remove judgment and worry and care. But then you find this ultimate connection to everything. Your ego doesn't know that none of those things matter. But if you step back and you say, wait a minute, I'm getting sucked into all of the beliefs and the things that I believe, but do you believe? No, it's your beliefs that were formed by the perceptions from the experiences and the thoughts that move. They're always changing. Do you even know why you believe the way you believe? Does belief even matter? Think about it. When you can detach from the ego that was formed by society, by beliefs of others even that have been placed onto you, you come to this place where the you that is connected to that love and peace and kindness and understanding you don't really care about all of those things. You don't feel that everything needs to be so structured and defined. Do you really want to be confined to being a certain way or to living a certain way and having a definite role? Or do you want to be unlimited, endless possibility? Remember, if your body was projected out into outer space, you would be so physically far apart from the earth, being rooted to the earth, that all of your problems would go away. You wouldn't have any problems anymore. It wouldn't matter anymore. That's literally how the universe works. It's constantly creating things, not creating problems, but creating things, rebirthing, replenishing, refreshing, transforming, not sticking. It's always constantly flowing naturally, freely. It's not hanging on to anything. It's not attaching to anything. It's constantly expanding beyond itself. And when you attach to your ego, you attach to beliefs and what your perceptions, you're attaching to a certain perception that things can't change or that things should stay in a certain way, and that ultimately is putting resistance in anything new coming in, because you're only allowing one way, one perception, one possibility. When you let go of the ego, you attach to the all, the universe, the cosmos, God, all possibilities. And that's when you begin to expand. Always expanding allows you to continue to receive the creation that the universe is projecting out towards all of us. There's an abundance of growth and expansion that the universe has for each and every one of us. As long as we know we need to keep the perception that there is no perception. That is ultimate love. When you understand that you are going to receive everything that the universe has to continuously give to you, that is ultimate unconditional love and kindness and lack of judgment. There is absolutely no judgment. You can do anything because you have no resistance. The ego has its purposes for these moments right here to realize at times that we can attach to our physical world, our physical beings that surround us. That way we come back to this space where we understand the full expanded intention of the universe. Separation, detaching from the physical world allows our energy to get connected, to be connected to everything that is. And that is part of the freely flowing creation of the universe that is constantly creating for each and every one of us, for us to experience and to flow with, like it's always meant to be, like it always has. This is a beautiful experience called life. And sometimes God, the universe, needs to remind us to come back here and just separate, detach from the physical world so we can be connected to all that is. The most positive, beautiful energy that can guide and assist and enhance our physical aspects of life. This is where we get the enjoyment out of the physical realms, is by detaching from the physical first, going to the universe, and allowing the universe to give you that expansion. Be part of that energy. It's beautiful.